Life is a journey that begins with birth and ends with death. It's a cycle seen in nature, from insects to whales. Death is integral to the natural world, ensuring life's continuation. Like a forest fire making way for new growth, death creates space for new life. Without death, new generations couldn't thrive. A world without death would be overcrowded and unsustainable. Death is essential for ecosystem balance. Decomposing bodies return nutrients to the soil. These nutrients nourish plants, feeding other animals. It's an interconnected cycle. Death also drives evolution. Genes are passed to offspring, leading to new traits and adaptations. These changes help species survive in changing environments. Our bodies are incredible machines, capable of extraordinary things. However, like any complex machine, they are subject to wear and tear over time. This process of wear and tear is what we call aging. Our bodies constantly repair and replace cells, but this process isn't perfect. Over time, damage accumulates and cells become less efficient at repairing themselves. Factors like toxins, radiation, and metabolism byproducts contribute to cellular damage. This damage can lead to DNA mutations and errors in cellular function. As we age, cells produce fewer essential molecules, leading to visible signs of aging. This decline contributes to wrinkles, age spots, and decreased muscle mass. The concept of death has fascinated and frightened humans for millennia. It's a mystery that has inspired countless myths, legends, and philosophical debates. Why do we die? What happens to us after we die? Biologically, death is the cessation of all functions that sustain life. Our hearts stop, our brains cease, and our cells no longer repair. What happens to our consciousness remains a mystery. Some believe in an afterlife, others think consciousness ends. Evolutionarily, death prevents overpopulation and allows new generations. Individually, death can feel arbitrary and unfair. Our brains are the most complex structures in the known universe. They are responsible for our thoughts, emotions, memories, and our very sense of self. But how does this physical organ give rise to the subjective experience of consciousness? Consciousness remains one of the biggest mysteries in science. We know that certain areas of the brain are associated with specific functions, but how these areas create a unified sense of self is still not fully understood. Some scientists believe consciousness is an emergent property of the brain. Others believe it may be a fundamental property of the universe. Understanding consciousness is crucial to understanding what happens after we die. If consciousness is solely a product of the brain, it would cease to exist when the brain dies. However, if it's more fundamental, it could survive bodily death. Section 5 glimpses beyond near-death experiences and what they might mean. Near-death experiences, or NDEs, are profound events reported by people who have come close to death. Common elements include feelings of peace, out-of-body experiences, visions of a bright light or tunnel, and encounters with deceased loved ones. While some see NDEs as evidence of an afterlife, scientists suggest they may result from brain changes during extreme stress or oxygen deprivation. Endorphin release during cardiac arrest could explain feelings of peace. Some aspects, like accurate recall during clinical death, are harder to explain scientifically. These accounts lead some to explore if consciousness can exist independently of the brain. NDEs offer intriguing insights into consciousness and the possibility of an afterlife, but they are subjective and not conclusive evidence. More research is needed to understand these phenomena. Section 6, cultures around the world. Different ways we think about death. Death is a universal experience, but our views and responses vary greatly across cultures. Some see it as a natural transition or reunion with ancestors. Others view it with fear and sadness, as a separation from loved ones. In some cultures, death is celebrated joyously, honoring the deceased's life. For example, Mexico's Day of the Dead is a colorful celebration of remembrance. Other cultures mark death with elaborate rituals and mourning periods. In some Hindu traditions, cremation and scattering ashes in a sacred river liberate the soul. This ritual is believed to free the soul from reincarnation. Our view of death profoundly impacts how we live. Cultures embracing death may focus on living in the present and valuing time. Cultures fearing death may prioritize prolonging life at all costs. Section 7. Religions and their stories of the afterlife. Religions around the world offer various beliefs about the afterlife, providing comfort and meaning in the face of mortality. Christianity teaches judgment by God, leading to heaven or hell. Islam also speaks of a day of judgment, with paradise or hell as outcomes. Buddhism views death as a transition, with reincarnation until enlightenment. These beliefs, though based on faith, offer comfort and guidance to millions worldwide.